Hey guys, welcome back. So today I was thinking about this one product in particular and I was like, damn, that was pretty innovative. So I'm going to talk to you guys about other products that I feel like are innovative. It's going to be great. Let's start. This was the product that I was originally thinking about because I just feel like this design is so fucking smart. This is from Suva Beauty. It's a brush holder. Okay? Let me talk to you about why this is so brilliant. We traveled once upon a time as a society, okay? This shit is so fucking smart. It's like a little cup holder kind of thing, and then you pull up this part and you can put that over top. So first of all, it doesn't fuck up your brushes. Like if that's packed to the brim and you're like trying to put the top on, then sometimes like the bristles can get caught and splay and stuff like that. And it's just not a good time. The other thing is that if your brushes are dirty, this kind of like keeps them contained in that inside area so that you're not getting it like all over the top part or anything like that. It's just like such a brilliant design. I cannot move past it. I've mentioned it before on my YouTube channel, but here I am mentioning it again. And it's also nice too because it has these two separate sides. So as like a working makeup artist, it's nice to have the one side that you can kind of like have all your clean brushes in, and then once you use them, you can put it into the other side and have your dirty brushes in like a different like cup basically. So you're keeping them separated and you know which ones you like already used so that you can go ahead and clean them between clients or whatever. It's just, I don't know, man. I love this product so much. It's such a good one. I love traveling with it. It's a fave. It works so well. And well, okay, I need to mention one other thing. When you have that thing pulled all the way up too, it makes it like almost impossible for this top part to like come off in your suitcase as well, which is really nice as well if you're like traveling with dirty brushes. Oh, so smart. Okay. Credit where credit is due, okay? Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for Superstar Youth Glow. Let me tell you why this product was so innovative. I'm not sure what their whole cruelty-free status is, by the way. A lot of people, when I've been mentioning them recently, people have been like, they're not cruelty-free anymore. But then like, it sounds like something that like some people are in agreement that they aren't. And then some people are like, no, that's actually not true. Like it's a little foggy for me. So I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, regardless, this product was one of the first I've ever seen like it, in that it's a highlighting product, but it's skin tone. So when the range initially came out, I was deeply confused. I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand. I thought, I was like, is it a foundation? Is it like a primer? Like, is it like what is it? But it's just, I mean, if you've been on my channel, you know this product, obviously, and this is kind of a similar concept to Glow Lust as well, of course. But it's just this really beautiful, glowy product that's all in skin tone shades, which I just think is so brilliant because who decided we were gonna make highlights but make them all weird fucking colors? I think there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong. But why? Why is that what we jumped from? Why did we start with golds and pinks and then come to this so far down the road? I just think that product was, I mean, I don't know that I saw that from another brand before that they did it, to be quite frank. And it's sheer brilliance for so many reasons. And I also feel like, I think one of the things that people would assume about a product like that is because it's skin tone shades, that you would need to have like a really, really expansive range. And that's not even necessarily true because it is quite flexible because it has like a skin tone to it. And it's sheer as well, so that obviously makes a difference too. But I would argue that those are more flexible than some other like more traditional highlight shades. So that was one. I just gotta hand it to them, you know? This is another product. I just think they're so smart and they did it so right. Again, with all of these products, I don't know if there was someone that did it first. This is who I know that did it first. Freck Beauty. How am I gonna do this? They made their little It's so fucking smart, man. This is for doing like little fake freckles. So it comes in like a eyeliner pen type deal with a well. The formula is so perfect for it. It doesn't like budge a whole ton, but it also shears out really, really beautifully. So you can kind of just like dot on those freckles. The whole idea, like the way that they tell you to use it, is dotting it on and then sort of like taking from those dots and pressing them around your face randomly. It really does make the most like natural looking freckles. They get their tones so well. I think they have 2 colors now, but they get their tones so well with those that it really does look like a freckle. It wears like a freckle. It's okay, well, I don't know if I'm gonna go as far as say it wears like an actual fucking freckle, but sometimes like when you do freckles with other products, like let's say you were using like a cream whatever, it's visibly thick and not thin on your skin like a freckle would be because it's part of your skin. I just think they nailed that formula. I think that they, as far as I know, were the first to market with that particular product, and they just did it so right. Like that could have been so disastrous and it really wasn't. And I feel like they just fucking cornered that market so well that it's sort of like, why would you go to anyone else? Aside from the fact that it's outrageously priced. Oh my God, I was like looking on Sephora to see, this is actually Alyssa's, she got some PR from them. But this is $37 Canadian. For why? I just can't understand it. Where is this made? Doesn't say. It's odd that they were able to not have where it's made on there. Yeah, I'm not seeing where that's made. Because then at least I could kind of determine, you know what I mean? Like certain areas are just notoriously more expensive to develop in. It leaves a really good stain too, actually. So you can kind of see on my finger. Can you? There we go. You can kind of see that stain still on my finger, and probably on the back of my hand too. It's just, they just did it so well, but damn, $37 Canadian. That's fucking, she pricey, you know? They know that they have the fucking market cornered, for sure. They're like, try something else, bitch. Get back to us, let us know how that goes. And I won't. I didn't haul it downstairs, but I've done a video with it before, this next product I'm about to talk about. That is the Dyson Airwrap. Let's talk about expense, okay? I mean, Dyson in general is just obviously always wildly expensive. It's one of those brands where I feel like there's no question why. Like there's no, I mean, that's how I view it, at least. Like I don't feel like that's a brand where you're like with this, I'm like, why is this $37? Like where did that price point come in? Not 100% sure. Certainly not like in the packaging, obviously. I would be shocked if the formula warranted a $37 price point. But Dyson is something that you look at and you're like, yeah, kind of fucking makes sense, because they are so innovative, and like basically every product that they make, there's something really unique about it and really different about it. When the Dyson Airwrap came out, if you don't know what it is, it's a curling wand that uses science, bitch. It uses air to wrap your hair around the barrel, and it holds your hair in place. Maybe I'll get Alyssa to put a little clip in or something if I can find a clip. But then I would have to look on my computer for the clip, and then I probably won't put in a clip. Anyways, it uses air to like hold your hair to the barrel, and that's all that it's using. Like there's nothing heating up on the actual barrel itself. It's literally just like hot air, and then you can do like a cool shot, whatever. It's all I use to curl my hair. I was sent it for consideration for like a sponsorship opportunity, which I ended up taking because I was like, damn, that shit's tight. And I honestly haven't touched any of my other curling wands since I got that, because it's just such a brilliant product. It works so well. The way that you're supposed to use it, the way that they recommend for you to use it is on damp hair, and then it blow dries it and curls it at the same time. My hair has been through the ringer, okay? A lot of people started following me during my silver hair phase. nothing's ever been the same since. I was contractually obligated to have silver hair for a time because I had a range of hair extensions with Bellamy. And so I had to have my hair be silver. So there came a point where like my hair was just falling out because like I had to continually like bleach and tone it so often because silver is such a hard color to upkeep. I was also trying to style it all the time and stuff like that because I was wearing my extensions. It was like this whole fucking thing. And so my hair was just like in a state, like it was just not going well for me. And it took years and years for my hair to come back from that when I finally could dye my hair a different color. But now like I've been blonde for quite a fucking while now. And my hair is like the healthiest it's been in my adult life, I would say. And I do feel like the Airwrap has made, I mean, having a good hairdresser and all that kind of stuff makes like obviously a gigantic difference. But regardless, when I would curl my hair a ton, I just would notice so much damage and stuff like that because my hair is bleached, obviously. This is not natural. I would get so much damage and my hair would smell fried and like, and it wouldn't even last that well in my hair either. Like a lot of the times my curls would like fall really quickly. My hair always felt really limp. Like it didn't last like overnight. I remember watching this one beauty YouTuber. Was that Jaclyn Hill? I can't remember. Someone was talking about curling their hair and they were like, yeah, you know, like I curl my hair and then like it's good for like 4 days. And I was like, fuck, 4 fucking days, bro? Mine's good for like 4 minutes. And then it's like as if I never curled it because it just like falls so flat. With the Airwrap, I feel like it damages my hair significantly less. It makes my curls actually last way fucking longer, especially on my extensions. Like my extensions will stay curled for a eternity if I curl it with my Airwrap. But my regular hair does actually stay curled quite well as well when I do use it. It's just such an innovative product. It's such a smart product. It works so well. It seems like the most gimmicky shit ever. Like I was 100% expecting to hate it and to feel like it was really, I thought it was going to be really finicky. I thought it was going to be really hard to use and that it would be something that like, I was like, I see like what you were going for here, but obviously this is not, you know, no. You tried it, it's cute, but it's not, this is nothing. There's nothing here. But I was wrong in a big way. And that is one of the most innovative products I've ever used in my life. And that's, like it's, that price point is fucking high as shit. I wish that they gave you the option. I'm not sure if that option is available now, but I do wish they gave you the option of just buying the Airwrap with like the barrels that you wanted. Because right now, like you buy it as like a whole set where you have kind of like the different like brush head attachments and stuff like that. But I wish that like you had that option of selecting which attachments you wanted to kind of bring that price point down. Because I would then recommend it forever and a day, always, all the time, constantly, never stop shutting up about it. It's a tough one to recommend, especially during a panorama, okay? But it is so, like, mind-bogglingly good. I love it. I love it so much. Anyways, that's my glowing review of that. It's just such an innovative product. And I feel, I'm not gonna stop. With hair products, with hair tools, I should say, I feel like there's good hair tools and there's bad hair tools, but there's rarely hair tools that I'm like, oh, wow, that's like so different. Like that's something like so, okay, like I very visibly see the difference between like this hair dryer and that hair dryer, you know what I mean? And this is a product that it's actually like, yeah, there is no curling iron like it. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Oh yeah, fucking Becca, sweet sorrow. I can't believe they're departing so soon. I do feel like this product is innovative. It's the Becca Under Eye Corrector. I've talked about it at length on my YouTube channel. I've mentioned it a million times. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorite products. I have stopped mentioning it because I was really hoping they would expand the shade range and they just never did. And they only have 2 shades, which is like pretty abysmal. And so I stopped kind of mentioning it out of disappointment. And I don't like talking about things that, you know, a wider range of people could use on my channel. I don't like talking about things that wouldn't apply to a wider range of people. You know what I mean? Here's what I have to say about this, okay? Color correctors have been around for a millennia. It's not an uncommon product. It's not that color correctors are innovative in themselves, like in itself. The way that they did that was so right. Here's my beef with a lot of color correctors. Was it 2017? It was such a dark year. Not as dark as 2020. There was a year where color correcting was like such a fucking trend, specifically within Sephora. Every brand was coming out with color correctors. It was a nightmare. And everyone on YouTube and on Instagram was like using color correctors all silly and shit, like in the weirdest ways, like not in ways that made sense, but just like putting color correctors all over their face in a way that like it wouldn't be correcting the color. Oh my God, it was just like a nightmare. Anyways, they got really popular. So many color correctors. My issue with them is that the theory behind color correction, if you look at a color wheel, there's complementary colors. So those are colors that are completely opposite of one another on the color wheel, okay? But when we're looking at a color wheel, those are really bright, like pure colors. They're really like intense colors. Like that's like a strong, like true blue, true red, true yellow, true green, true purple, true orange. Your skin isn't that. You know what I mean? Like if you have a pimple that's red, it might feel really red, but it's not a pure red. Like it's not going to be like actually true pure red. And so my issue with a lot of color correctors is that they were such strongly pigmented colors that it didn't actually make sense to combat the color that you were trying to combat. So for instance, color correctors that are meant to correct red, you would typically use green because red and green are opposite each other on the color wheel. Again, you're working with skin tones. You're not working with pure red. You're working with red that's underneath layers of skin, and it has that kind of translucency to it and that differentiation in tone. But then when you're putting like a pure green over top, or something that's like way more green than it is kind of like skin tone with a little bit of green, what ends up happening is it doesn't actually correct that color. It covers it completely, and then what you have to do is go over top with a full coverage concealer to conceal the color of the color corrector, if that makes sense. So it's not that I'm against color correcting in general. Color correcting is like incredibly effective, and it can be really, really helpful for people with discoloration. It's just that so many color correcting products are just like, they're just bad, in my humble opinion. That's where Becca got it so right with this under eye corrector, and it's a fucking crying shame that they didn't come out with more shades before they like just packed up and left shop, because this almost looks skin tone. It is like a peachy kind of undertone, and it is really, really effective as like a color corrector. Not if you had extreme discoloration, I will say that, because it is a little bit more of a sheer kind of formula. But this is like the correct kind of direction that I'd like to see more color correctors take, where it's not this like really, really, really intense peach or orange or whatever that you're using to combat like those blues and those purples underneath the eye. Because again, it's never going to be a pure purple or a pure blue. It's going to have different tones in it. And so having a product that is more kind of skin toned with like a little bit of that color in it to correct is perfection. And that's why I love that product so much. It's one that when you put it on, you're not immediately like, oh fuck, okay, now I need to like go ahead and cover this up. Like you could potentially use that by itself and not have to go over top with a concealer. I usually choose to, but I do know people that wear that color corrector just by itself, which is exactly how it should be, because it's correcting, it's not becoming a new color that you then have to cover. So that's my whole fucking spiel. That's why I feel like that product is so great. This next product is a product that I haven't tried, but I really wanted to talk about because, again, it was just something that I saw and I was like, brilliant, groundbreaking, starstruck, just can't believe it. Okay, so I don't actually know this person. Oh, the website's not up yet. Okay. This person is named Hindashi, I think. And he looks to be a Dubai makeup artist. God, this is brilliant. And he launched an eye palette, which, you know, eye palettes, they have their place in the world, but we've seen a lot of eye palettes over the past couple years. We just have. It just is what it is. It's a product that kind of like blew up and became really popular, but there was nothing really like different that people were doing. God, this is so fucking smart. I just can't even handle it. This is the eyeshadow palette he came out with. The brilliance. I personally haven't seen this before. I've seen ombre powder. So basically what's going on here, he has all of these powders and they're all ombre powders. So it goes from like light to dark, whatever, like one color to another, which I've seen this in blushes and bronzers and different stuff like that. Seen it done there before. I've never seen it in an eyeshadow palette personally. It's almost like I'm beside myself with how smart this is. Because eyeshadow palettes, I'm fucking exhausted by. It's just such a common product now, and it's something that is really hard to do differently because there's only so many colors, and like I feel like a lot of us started just like buying eyeshadow palettes like crazy because that's all brands were coming out with, and we were like, ooh yeah, okay, that's like a fun color story, I'm gonna get that. But then it's like at some point you're like, oh wow, I have 80 palettes and they're all basically the same with like one pop of color that's different. And it's not that the colors in this palette are that innovative, it's just that the whole concept behind it is like so brilliant and innovative. Because if you've watched my videos for a while, you probably know basically every single time I'm using an eyeshadow palette, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna dot back and forth between these two colors. I'll usually use like one color by itself, and then if I'm blending it out or whatever kind of thing, I'll start dotting back and forth, because what I'm doing there is like I'm creating a kind of new color, like that's in between almost. So if I was to take like, let's say like Christie's palette for instance, I might dot back and forth between these two colors because, these two colors here, because they're similar like in tone, like they're both like warm toned kind of thing, and they're more on like the like yellow orange warm spectrum, but they're quite different colors, like they're very different in depth and in the actual shade. So what I often find when I'm doing makeup is that like I want something that's like just right in between there. Like I don't want to necessarily put that down on my eye and then have to blend out with that. I want to like put that one down, and then have something in between there that I can use to blend the two together to create a more seamless transition, and to just have to spend less time blending those two different shades together separately on the eye, if that makes sense. So I'll dot back and forth, and then I'll kind of like mix the shade on my brush so that I can get like a nice gradation. This palette is essentially doing that for you. Someone posted swatches specifically of this brown to gray one on Twitter or something. And I think Mariah Leonard like tweeted it, and so that's where I saw this palette. Well, let me just fucking look it up, because I feel like why sit here and chit chat about it rather than just show you. So this, I mean allegedly, is all swatches from that one brown to gray strip. So using kind of different pressures, using different points in like the gradient, creates different colors. This is so fucking smart. I just cannot get over it. Like it is just so smart, because I don't love a mega palette. I will say that. I feel like those became very, very popular with like Morphe, and Natasha Denona's pretty well known for having like really big palettes and stuff like that. And I feel like that's like at first seems like an obvious fix to like my whole issue of like, oh, I wish there was something in between there. But so often what that results in is that I use like 4 colors out of like a 28 color palette, and I just don't end up using the other colors for whatever reason. And so this to me is like such a brilliant solution to that problem, because you can create such versatility out of this one product that's actually quite concise. It's not a mega palette. It's not 8 billion colors that you're then like, ooh, I don't know like what that's gonna pair well with. It's creating that versatility for you within such a concise palette. I love everything about this. I haven't seen it before from another brand. I'm not like really, I'll be honest, as much as I'm like just really giving this a glowing review without ever having tried it, I'm not super drawn to the palette itself, like the shades in the palette itself, but I might pick it up just because like I want to see how it is in person. Like, is it that, like, is it as immaculate as I'm expecting it to be? So I think I probably will grab it. I hope to see this from more brands, because it was just one of those products where I was like, wow, like that is, someone fucking smarter than me was behind that, and I love to see it. I'd love to know whose idea that was. Like, was it that guy? Was it the makeup artist's idea? Or was it the lab's idea? Or like someone on his team? Like, whom was behind this, and can we talk for a little bit? Like, can we chit chat about this? Where do your ideas come from? What does it feel like to be inside your brain? What does it feel like to be Einstein level genius within the beauty industry? I just love it. So fucking cool. It just gets me going, man. Anyways, that's it. I tried to like find some more products, but I feel like, again, it is kind of rare that we come out with products that are really, really, truly innovative. Because there's been some products that have come out over the years that like could have been innovative, but like they just missed the mark because it wasn't actually that good. Because that's the thing about like true innovation is like, it has to not only be so different and so unique, but done right, you know? So, I mean, I can't speak to whether or not that palette is done right. It fucking looks like it. I'll let you know if I get a handle on it. The only thing is that, like, I feel like that's a palette that's, if it hasn't already gone viral, it probably will. And then, like, it's, like, not out yet. And then I have to, like, go to the fucking launch page and, like, launch. And it's, like, this whole thing. And then, like, the checkout queue. I'm too, like, old for that shit. I'm too sensitive. Like, I can't put myself through that kind of turmoil. So it would be like a long time before I got the palette if it was like that kind of a like the hectic, you know. Anyways, that's it. That's my video. I hope that was moderately interesting for you. It was for me. That's why I did it. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out and chatting and watching the video. And goodbye.